Right, hello and welcome to another Expert Insight interview. My name is John Golden from Sales Pop, online sales magazine and Pipeliner CRM, joining you as usual from a sunny San Diego. And today I'm delighted to be joined from the other side of the country in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina by Dr. Shaurice Mullins, known as Dr. M. How are you doing, Dr.
I'm
M?
doing great. I'm so happy to be here. Glad you had me on today.
Yeah, and Dr. M is a globally recognized best-selling author, serial entrepreneur, and renowned business strategist with over 25 years experience creating transformational impact. She earned the title Blueprint of Invincibility for ability to empower individuals and organizations to achieve unparalleled success. You're the president and CEO of the Elite Group, Elite Disaster Consulting International, Shaurice Mullins International, Shaurice Mullins International of the Gambia, and Inner Design Mastermind. Wow. And in your spare time, you...
In my spare time, I love to read a good book and listen to music.
I'm surprised you have any with all these companies. And you've been featured on Forbes, CBS, Fox, NBC, ABC, and even the New York Times, the iconic New York City Times Square. You've been up in Times Square. I love it. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Well,
I
we're going
thought
to talk
it was
about...
so dope. I thought it was so dope.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that's not something you want to be humble about. That's something you
Yeah.
just need to like own and say, this is pretty cool. And so what we're going to talk about today is the abundant mindset, the true meaning of wealth and abundance. And I think I think it's such an important topic, Dr. M, because I think an abundant mindset and understanding the concept of abundance, it really does empower people, kind of frees people, because if
Mhm.
you get trapped in in a finite mindset, you're always in competition, aren't you? You're always in competition because there's only so much of the pie available.
Right, right. When you get caught up in it's not enough in the world or there's a lack of, you find yourself competing and being in a rat race of I have to what word I like to do. I like to use I have to outdo the next
Mhm.
person when it's just about the competition is always between you and you. It's never
Mm.
between anyone else.
Yeah, and therefore, and if you have that finite mindset and if you're in that competition mindset all the time, then I can't celebrate your success, and I can't say, "Oh, well, look what Dr. M has done. That's fantastic. If she can do it, maybe I can do something like that." Rather, I'm saying, "Well, Dr. M has now taken away an
Exactly.
opportunity from me."
Exactly. And you find that in business when, it's always better when you pull together and you have a powerful collaboration, when you can, use someone else's mind. It's better when it's two heads are better than one. But when you're in this competition mindset, you never get a chance to glean from the skills of someone else because your mind is always on it's not enough. I'm competing with this person. When really you're not.
Mhm.
Really, if you look at everyone you meet as a blessing in a sense or someone who has something to offer or to bring to the table, there's really no competition. You're just excited about here's someone that I can work with, someone I can build with, someone I can grow with, and someone that can better me. And
Mhm.
that's how I see everyone in business. Rather than a competition, I see an opportunity to learn and grow.
And I think that's such an important point about the opportunity to learn and grow because let's face it, even some of our greatest teachers are maybe the people we've had the least best experience with, or maybe that we have, that we go, oh, that person, they did this and they did that to me and all of that. But when you really take a step back, you go, actually, they taught me some very valuable lessons.
Yeah. Lessons. I sit back and I think about how are we seeing success and how are we defining it? Is it about what someone else, or is it through someone else's eyes, or what success is, or is it really what you feel about success? Because I often ask people, who were you before someone taught you who you should be?
Ah.
Who were you before someone told you, oh no, you're not successful because you haven't done it this way or you didn't do it that way? And so a lot of times we are a shell of what someone else told us we should be. Not, we don't have our own identity. And I think that when I think about learning lessons, The lessons that I've learned is taught me, oh my God, I don't even know myself. How can I expect someone else to know me?
Yeah, and I think, Doctor, that's very profound. But I think part of the problem we face today is we live in this weird culture where we're constantly distracted, right? And we don't. I mean, how can you get to know yourself if you don't spend any time with yourself? If every second of every moment, you have this device in your face,
Exactly.
and you never get to have any quiet time with yourself. I mean, is this something that you see as like in a greater problem even today than it's ever been?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a problem. I was just having a conversation with my children the other day. I'm a mother of 9 children.
Oh wow!
Uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Two
have
more, and you could have your own soccer team.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have 6 children, and then with my fiance,
Sure.
I'm a bonus mom to 3. And so one of the things I tell them a lot is, just practice metacognition, practice the art of thinking about thinking. So
Mm,
take some time away from the world, check out a little bit. If it's some soft music in the background, if it's a book, just check out and take some time to think about what you're thinking about every day. And
mm,
that is work in itself. It really is, John, because with everything going on in the world, your news, your phone is constantly going off. And if it's not, someone else is constantly calling you
yeah.
about something. It's a problem. It's their problem. Sometimes in my life, it's not even my problem. It's someone else's. So if you take that time to step back, and I call it, I'm on vacation from the world. I'm on
Yeah.
vacation from the activity that's going on in my day-to-day life, and I'm taking a step away. And when you do that, you realize that what you thought was abundance or success, those things don't really matter to you. What matters is, when we think about abundance, a lot of times we just think about money, cars, houses, yachts, jets. But when you think about abundance, you think about, it's a peace of mind. It is really having a mindset of, I'm okay where I am. I'm okay with who I am. And that is abundance in itself. Am I healthy?
Mm.
Can I get around? Can I still see? Do I have an attitude of gratitude? To me, that is what abundance is. A total, you're covering all the gamut of the mental, physical, and emotional health of a being.
Yeah, and that's so. I love that thing about stepping away from it, because, like you said, you've got the news, you got your social media and everything, and and it doesn't matter where you are in the political spectrum. I always say the news isn't there to inform you; it's there to provoke you, right? To
Oh yeah,
provoke
yeah,
the
yeah, definitely.
and social media, let's face it. I mean, you look at social media and maybe you see somebody, and it looks like they're doing really well. Maybe they're standing in front of a fancy car. It turns out in the end it wasn't even their car, but you don't know that.
Exactly. They may
And
be rented it or someone else's.
yeah, now you're all discombobulated, and it seems like, yeah, I mean, to be able to step away from it, and as you said, to really be able to understand what abundance means. And something you mentioned earlier that I just wanted to come back on, because I think it's really, really profound as well, is your concept of success. Is it yours or is it someone else's? Is who you think you should be, is that defined by society, by somebody else, by your family, by your background, or is that how you really see it? And I think that's an incredibly important exercise to go through, to say, is my concept of success and abundance really mine, or am I appropriating and taking on something externally?
Exactly. Because if you're constantly doing that, you're never going to be happy, because
Hmm.
you're going to run into people and say, oh, you haven't done enough, or you should have done it this way, or you should have done it that way. And that's why I say I love to talk about finding your authentic journey. What does it mean to you? Is success $100,000? Is it health? Is it peace of mind? Like, what is abundance to you? Because everyone will tell you, if you listen to others, they will tell you, oh, you're not successful enough. You don't have $1 billion, or
Hmm.
you don't have $1 million. And I found people that they don't even possess the things that even I possess, and they're happier. They're like,
Mm.
hey, no, I don't drive this car, or I don't live in this house, but I get up every day and I'm grateful for where I am, what I
Mm.
have. And they see success totally different. And I think that that is the first step, identifying who you are, what your true desires are, and being able to tick down, and take down those markers of, well, when did I change my mindset about, you know, how I see myself? When did
Mhm.
I change my mind about, it's okay to just sit back and read a book and not be on every social set? I don't have
Mhm.
to be on every set wearing, my big T hat everywhere. I can literally be okay with being in my house, just reading a book. It's okay.
Yeah, it is. No, absolutely. And I love what you said about the gratitude piece, because I feel like this is something that is i- it's it's so profoundly simple,
It
but it's
is.
not easy. And I always say simple doesn't always equate to easy, right?
Right.
It's profoundly simple, but not easy. Like we forget often. I mean, it's like you wake up in the morning. You should be grateful for the fact that you woke up in the morning, that you're alive,
Exactly.
that you woke up, you looked up at the ceiling, there was a roof over your head and a bed underneath you.
Right, right. And just the fact that, I always say every day when I get up, I'm thankful that my family circle wasn't broken. I
Yeah.
didn't have to go and attend a funeral yesterday.
Mhm.
So all of those things, I believe that those are the things that we take for granted, that someone else is enjoying. Someone else doesn't need all of these things to enjoy life, in which
Mhm.
we think that we do sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm out in the yard, I find myself, one of the things that I absolutely love is just sitting under my pavilion with the sun out. It's no rain. No one is talking to me. I don't have to step up to the plate and be a CEO at that moment.
Mhm.
In that moment, I find the gratitude of saying, I'm just grateful for where what I have, where I am. And if that is in a small house, as long as my lights are on, I have a bed to sleep on. And when do we get to the point where the world dictates
Mhm.
when we are successful?
Yeah.
And I think that we need to really take responsibility for that and not allow someone else to guide us in what success is. Because if we allow them to do that, John, we allow them to tell us everything that we
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
well, what we can and cannot be and do.
And it is, that's such an important point, that if we allow the world to dictate success for us, well, the world right now, I mean, it seems to dictate success in one way. You have to have loads of money, you have to be, have some level of celebrity or something, and if you fall below that, then your life is terrible. Which, let's face it, I mean, that's success. That is the definition of success, really, for a small amount of people. It doesn't suit, it's not even necessary for most other people. There's so much more, and those things may not be what bring you fulfillment anyway at the end of the day. And to be honest, they really shouldn't be what brings you fulfillment.
No, because you'll realize, okay, when you didn't have things, you say,
Mhm.
oh, I'm going to be so much happier when I
Yeah.
have them. And then if you watch interviews and you watch celebrity, they're like, well, I thought I was going to be happy when I when I got all of this money. But then I say to people, how many cars can you buy? How many
Mhm.
houses can you buy? How many yachts can you own? How many jets can you purchase? Like how many of these things can you possess before you realize that happiness is an inside job?
Mhm.
Abundance is an inside job. It's not all of these other things. Because I was looking at an interview from a celebrity the other day, and he was like, well, I have all those things and I still found myself a very sad person.
Right.
So I was living up to the expectations of everyone around me. I didn't even realize until after he was saying, after I had all these things, didn't I realize all I wanted was to be loved by my mom.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even want or care about all of these things. So I think when we sit back and we think about what is success as, what is true abundance and happiness, we will realize it's not what we thought it was.
No, no, absolutely. And I think also, like you said, is, I mean, even if you look back on your own life, like regardless of where you are, in your life right now, I'm sure if you look back, you would say, well, when I was young and maybe living in a one room, like rundown flat back in Dublin, right? I thought, oh, this is awful. I wish I had like something more or a house or a better job. And you get all those things and you think, did those things make the difference, or was it the quality of your relationships, maybe being a parent, all these, were those the things that really brought you happiness, those things, as opposed to the material things that you accumulated?
Exactly. I think that, and I say all the time when someone says to me, "Oh my God, I can't believe you have this," I said, "You said it exactly right. I have that. It doesn't have me.
Right.
I have it. It doesn't have me." So when you define yourself as, okay, I'm driving this car, so this makes me
Hmm.
successful, or this makes me this big shot person. What happens when you don't have that?
Right.
What happens? So do you lose your entire identity when you're no longer driving a Bentley, or when you're no longer driving a Porsche? You
Hmm.
lose who you are. No, I think that when you understand who you are, you understand that I'm driving this thing because I enjoy it. But
Hmm.
if I wasn't driving it, I would still be happy with me and who
Right.
I am. And the fact that I was this broken person that couldn't even find my way out of a wet paper bag at one time. And now I actually can sit down, I can look at myself in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you and I'm proud of who you've become outside of all of these physical things. Can you look yourself in the mirror? I was at a conference one day and I asked someone, when is the last time you looked in the mirror for more than 2 minutes? Other than just brushing your teeth and fixing your hair and doing your makeup and saying, okay, I guess I look good. Let me get out of
Yeah.
here. When's the last time you actually looked at yourself and said, I'm actually proud of you? And I had one lady to tell me, Dr. Mullins, I tried that. I couldn't even look at myself for 2 minutes in the mirror. I couldn't even look at myself. I said, well, how long did you make it? How long were you able to? She said, maybe 30 seconds.
Right.
And I found myself unhappy with who I was looking at. So I think that says a lot when it comes out to how we really looking at ourselves and how we're defining abundance.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I think and I think that's something we should encourage everybody to do, because that is a real moment of, I was called these things, like, the 4 a.m. moments. You wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and whatever is going on in your life, it's the truth is right in front of you, because you're just hyper aware, and you
Exactly.
can't avoid it. Maybe you can cover it up the rest of the time, but it's like what you're just saying there, is how profound that is, to stand in front of yourself and look yourself and ask yourself, am I proud of me?
Exactly.
I think that's something, because that could be life changing for you, even just doing that exercise.
Yeah, it was definitely life changing for me. I did it. I still use that technique today. I stand in the mirror and say, okay, are you number one? I do it because I've rearranged my values.
Hmm.
When you can identify your core values, I understood that happiness was one of my top values, and integrity was number two. It's number two in my life. If I can't be in integrity with myself, I'm definitely not going to be in integrity with others. So when I stand there and I look in the mirror, I ask myself, do you feel like you did the right thing? Did you stand up for yourself? Did you speak up for yourself? Did you speak your truth? Or did you say what someone else approved of you saying? Were you truthful with yourself? And when I begin to practice that now, John, it was very difficult in the beginning
Mhm. Yeah,
because
like
number
I
one,
said, simple doesn't mean easy.
right, number one, I had to admit to myself that I had been lying to myself about quite a bit. But once I got through that process and realized, okay, you can never be truthful with someone else if you can't be truthful with yourself. And when I got through that, I realized, oh, I really don't think that's success for me. I really
Mm.
don't think that that is true abundance for me. I really don't think I liked when I gave this response. The truth is, I really don't care about that, or I wanted to do something different. And that was my come to myself meeting with myself in the mirror in the bathroom, looking at myself saying, are you being authentic or are you a fraud? Like, what are you really? And so
Mhm.
I think it's a powerful technique to use. It's
Yeah.
been so helpful for me, and I do it quite often. Still today, I do it quite often.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a fantastic takeaway because let's face it. I mean, we live in a world today where I feel like, as you said, is this how I really feel? Is this what I really believe? Are these words the ones that I really can stand behind? Or am I just trying to be part of one group or another? Or am I just trying to fit in? Or is it what I feel like I should be saying? And that kind of and if you can't, as you said, if you can't be truthful with yourself, then you can't be happy and live in abundance if everything is built on a falsehood.
Exactly. And then being okay with, well, maybe if I stand in my truth,
Mhm.
these friends that I thought were these people that I thought were my friends, they're not really my friends. I
Yeah.
should be able to be myself and speak about something. I was looking at watching something on social media the other day, and you had two people that I personally know. They were the best of friends, and then they just fell out because they didn't agree on something. And
Right.
I'm like, are we in a world where I can't even have a different opinion? I can't even have a different opinion now without being bashed. But
Yeah.
it's the boldness of being able to say, I do feel different than you. I do think different than you, and being able to stand on that and say, that's who I am.
Mhm.
And I don't really care if it means you're not going to invite me to this next social event or we're no longer friends, but this is my truth.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's so important, and I think that, if more people in the world could do that, we'd be a less, yeah, we'd be a happier society. I always think back to when I was growing up back in Dublin, and my group of friends, we would sit around in the pub and argue everything. We all had different political opinions,
Right, right, right.
and we would just argue insanely for hours on end about stuff. Never affected our friendships, never affected.
Exactly.
It was, and to be honest, it was fun. Why would you want to sit around agreeing with everybody anyway?
Where are you going to get like that's why it's called ideas,
Mhm.
innovation, being able to look at things from a different perspective. Just because someone doesn't agree with you, it doesn't mean, oh, sometimes I've heard things and said, oh, I didn't see that way. You know
Yeah,
what, I didn't think about that way. Or I've told someone, people in conversations, let's agree to disagree.
yeah, yeah.
Let's agree to disagree, but it's okay. Now let's get back focused on the main thing. What is the main thing here? And if it's our friendship, if it's business, whatever it is, that is the main thing. But at the end of the day, I respect you and I value your opinion, even if I don't agree with it.
Yeah,
But when you're living in a world where you're so afraid to just say, I don't like that, or
yeah,
I don't prefer to drink that, or
yeah.
to go here or go there, then you're living in a box that you're
Mhm.
putting yourself in, by the way, for acceptance from people who really do not care about you.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately, a lot of people have the hobby. I interviewed somebody once, and they had this fantastic phrase, "recreational anger," and I just thought that is true. I mean, it seems to be a lot of people's pastime is just being angry at everything all the time and finding new things to be angry about. It's like, let go of it and get back to what you said. Like, look yourself in the mirror and say, "Is this the best version of me, really?" At the end of the day.
Exactly. Exactly. Is this, am I really displaying the am I really being, the best version of myself, or am I giving you a facade? Am
Mhm.
I showing you what I believe that you want? And I think after a while, that makes you very resentful.
Yeah.
It makes you
Yeah.
very resentful with everyone around you because I'm giving everyone what they want, but I'm not getting anything in return. And so I think the first thing is to be honest with yourself, how you really seeing abundance, and where are you at mentally? Because
Mhm.
abundance, I'm sorry, mental is all a part of abundance as well. Mental health, physical health, as well as financial.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'm a huge believer you can never separate the mind and body. That's one of my big issues with Western medicine and stuff is the way if you break your leg, you go to your doctor, to your surgeon. If you're sick in some way, physically, but if you have a mental health issue, you go to somebody completely different, and they don't talk to each other, and there's no connection
Exactly.
between the two. And yeah, no, I agree. Well, listen, Dr. M, this has been fantastic. All of
Yes.
Shaurice's information will be below this video, but before we go, please do remind people about what you do.
Okay, I do two things. One, I am a disaster recovery expert. So where you see hurricanes, tornadoes, and earthquakes, I staff those disasters for states, municipalities, and counties around the world. One. And step two, this the second thing that I do is I am a business consultant. So I help people scale their businesses by meshing the mind, mental health with business health. That's exactly what I do.
Excellent. Well, listen, thanks again, Shaurice. Thank you for watching and listening, and I'll see you all again very soon.